I didn't leave when I should have, not because I didn't see the signs, but because I convinced myself they weren't serious enough. I told myself I could endure a little longer. I told myself this was just a difficult season. I told myself staying was the mature thing to do. What I didn't realize then was that every day I stayed, I was leaving myself behind. I didn't stay for dramatic reason. There was no single moment that demanded escape, no clear breaking point, no moment where everything fell apart. That made staying feel reasonable. He wasn't always unkind. We laughed sometimes. We functioned well enough from the outside. It looked stable, responsible, normal, and that was the most dangerous part. Because when something is almost right, you spend years convincing yourself it will become enough. At first, staying felt like patience. I waited for better days. I waited for understanding. I waited for effort to be returned. Slowly, patience turned into silence. I stopped bringing things up because it was easier. I stopped explaining myself because it changed nothing. I stopped asking because disappointment became predictable. I didn't argue. I adapted. And adaptation, I learned too late, can quietly erase you. There was a time when I spoke freely. I had opinions, preferences, strong feelings about small things. But over time, I learned which parts of me caused tension, so I softened them. Then I hid them. Then I forgot them. I became careful with my words, careful with my tone, careful not to want too much, not because I was afraid of conflict, but because I was tired of being unheard. People think staying is always about love. Sometimes it's about fear, fear of starting over, fear of being alone, fear of explaining why you stayed so long. I had already invested years, built routines, shared a life. Leaving felt like admitting I had been wrong for too long. So I stayed, not because I was happy, but because leaving felt heavier than disappearing slowly. The realization didn't come loudly. It came during a simple question. Simone asked me what I wanted, not what we wanted, not what made sense, not what was practical, just what I wanted. And I couldn't answer. I searched my mind and found nothing solid, no clear desire, no strong preference. That was the moment I understood. I hadn't just stayed too long. I had stayed until I forgot who I was. Staying cost me time. Not dramatic years. Quiet ones. Years where nothing collapsed, but nothing truly grew either. It cost me confidence. I forgot how to trust my instincts. It cost me joy. I learned to expect very little from life. And the hardest part was realizing that no one had forced me into this. I chose staying every day. If I could speak to the woman I was back then, I would tell her this: staying is not always love. Endurance is not always love. And loyalty should never require self-erasure. If you are shrinking to keep the peace is already gone. And if you are listening to this now and something feels familiar, please don't ignore it. That quiet discomfort is not weakness. It is awareness arriving early. I stayed too long and I lost myself. But you don't have to. Sometimes the most important thing a woman can do is notice when staying is costing her more than leaving ever could. If this reflection stayed with you, there are more lessons I wish I had learned sooner.